stated above show that there was no agency necessitating this application. We are expressing our disagreement as to why the 150,000 approved for particular group of people should be used for a different purpose. Valuation report from the Land Valuation Division of the Land Commission was not cited. Funds not used for the intended purposes constitute misapplication, a management override of controls. And the auditors are recommending that the spending of a sum as a matter of urgency refund the amount so misapplied. That is the 150,000. What do you say to that?
Mr. Chairman, the 150,000 has since been refunded. On the issue of the 27767.59 payment to PAPS, payment has been made to about 13 of them, up to a sum of 72,536. The remaining is ongoing because some of the PAPs that showed up did not bring evidence of identity and ownership title to the properties. So we've asked that those processes be furnished appropriately before we pay them, because if we did pay them, it would be against the regulations of the Public Financial Management Act. Now, we've also provided evidence supporting the 150,000 Ghana cedis, as the auditors allege they did not find. The most important point, which has to do with the letter from head office, dated 27 January 2021, we've provided evidence to the audit service that the year 2021 was an error. In fact, the chief executive who signed that letter was not even appointed then. So it should have been 27 January 2022. And to the more substantive issue of misapplication, what happened was that there was an urgent need to pay PAPS on the Ariankwanta Abori Road. We had the need to pay that money in order to resolve issues. So technically speaking, it was not purely a misapplication of funds.
Director, my interest is, have you implemented the recommendations?
All the recommendations have been implemented, Mr. Chairman.
Auditor, can you confirm whether your recommendations have been implemented?
Mr. Chairman, the recommendations have been implemented, except to say that in the case of the PAPs, the 72,536.58 has been paid, leaving a balance of 205,138, which they are still in the process of disbursing. Thank you.
When are you going to make good that one, the balance?
It's ongoing. Anytime they bring us the evidence, normal Ghana card, that will bear the name that we capture, we'll pay the money to them.
But don't you gather this evidence before you even start the project?
Yeah, they do, but when they are coming, they must come with evidence. Otherwise, you pay money to a wrong person, and then they will take GHA to court. So they must come with the evidence that was provided so that we can make photocopy. At times, some of them, when you go there, at the time of taking the data, they will not get the person data, the ID card. So when the names are captured and you are coming, you should bring Ghana card that will bear the name that was captured.
But assuming the data that was captured at first is inaccurate, in the sense that it's not the right person to benefit, how are you going to, because I take it that you are going to verify whoever is coming against the data that you have. Assuming this is also inaccurate, then what do you do?
Mr. Chairman, these issues come all the time. You go to a property which is in the right of way, or you need that additional land to be able to construct your road, and then the person in the house says, yes, it belongs to me, and you capture his data. When we have processed to the level of approvals and the money is released and you're going to pay, then you see the real owners. Then it turns into another battle within them. Some of these things have landed us in court, and the court will have to decide. In cases where the person might have even misspelled his name, somebody calls himself Kofi Mensah, then the next time you go, he has a card saying that he's Gerald Mensah. Now it becomes difficult for you to say that he is the person to warrant the money. And in most of those cases, we have had collaboration from the district assembly, the assemblymen, who will testify, and we keep it on record that he says he is.
Right, thank you.
I'm
okay, thank you. Let's go on, Chairman.
Okay, let's go to paragraph 2439, Roxanne.
Chairman, thank you very much. The case of the auditors is very simple. Official vehicle stolen. Bekwai Road Area Manager, Ebenezer Obobi Kafri. I won't bore you with the facts. What's the state of the vehicle?
Mr. Chairman, the case is still under investigation by the police.
Was the vehicle insured, and if so, whether comprehensively insured?
It was third-party insured, sir.
Your Toyota Hilux vehicle, third-party, Ghana Highway Authority, with your area engineer sitting in it?
Honorable Chair, when we buy project vehicles and it's in the custody of the contractor until the project is completed and handed over to the state, we, per law of the contract, we instruct the contractors to comprehensively insure the vehicles because it will still be in his custody until the project is finished. But once the project is over, if we're going to keep all these things on our budget, over 200-300 vehicles, there's no way we can afford it. And I don't think anybody will approve the budget for us to go and pay such to. So most of those vehicles that have returned to the system are third party, or sometimes we run on government. We are government.
Well, I agree with you. I agree. The most important thing is that the vehicle was insured. Now, the inexplicable circumstances leading to the vanishing of the vehicle, the auditors flagged the issue that in the absence of retriever, the driver and your engineer should be liable. And you are telling the committee that for all this while, the matter is still under investigation.
Yes, Honorable Chair, the matter is still under investigations. It's the police who have to complete the investigation and give us the circumstances on which we could act.
When did you report the matter to the police? The loss of the vehicle?
Immediately, sir.
Yes, I see it. So when was the last time you did a follow-up?
Well, the follow-up is, even this January, we have spoken to the police about it.
In Bekwai?
Yes. And they say the investigations are ongoing.
You see, Chairman, another issue where police matters are referred to the police and it takes forever, you may have to give some directions in this matter.
Well, I think that we'll still have to make our recommendation, as we have done in the past, about how reports made to the police, especially theft and this, take ages. They don't complete the investigation. So some people also hide behind that. Oh, let's go and report to the police. They will not finish. They won't finish with the investigation. And yes. Well, for now, I think that we don't have much to do than to repeat our recommendation on the matter. All right, so let's go to the last one for Ghana Highway Authority. It's about purchase of Toyota engines. According to the auditors, and the officer at the mechanical workshop at one regional office says that 2 engines were brought to the shop by the WA Regional Director, Engineer Andrew Okre, as a replacement for his Toyota Prado with registration number GN 8502-15. The auditors noted that on May 19, 2021, a letter dated that day to Ban Ntima Company Limited, the acting regional director requested for engine replacement cost of $46,000, for which a receipt of only $23,500 from Mipawacho Enterprise was cited on file. However, there was no documentation seen covering the purchase of the second engine. The auditors further noted from their review of the internal audit report that dated 19 July 2021, that the Upper West Regional Acting Regional Internal Auditor vividly captured the purchase of the first engine and its associated anomalies, for which he served the Acting Regional Director a memo dated 17 April 2021. The memo requested for evidence of the source of funding for the engine, the invoices and receipts for work done, and the old engine. So, in conclusion, the auditors recommended that the former WA Acting Regional Director, Engineer Andrew Okre, should provide all relevant documentation to address the findings listed above, failing which he should refund the cost of the 2 engines and all incidental costs. The management provided responses for the engine number 1 and engine number 2. But tell us, what is the outcome of this recommendation?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, after the auditor's report, management instructed internal auditor to do further investigation into the matter. And based upon their recommendation, the officer involved was asked to pay refund for the 46,000 Ghana cedis and take back his engine. So he has paid the money to GHA. We have made the evidence of payment to the auditors, the audit service.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Mr. Chairman, the acting director paid the 46,000 to the accounts of GHA. Thank you.
All right, that'll be all for Ghana Highway Authority. You are discharged.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry. There is a public interest question from Honorable Isaac Opoku.
Yes.
But make it brief.
Chairman, it will be very brief. Chairman, there is a collapsed bridge in my constituency. A bridge over a river called Amoadine. Chairman, I wrote to the ministry about 2 years ago and gave them a reminder. It's a collapsed bridge in the heart of Offenso South. And nothing has been heard. I'm not even talking about, tiring of the road, but the bridge is so serious. I've sent, copies, pictures of the collapsed bridge to your outfit 2 years ago. The roads are not tied, not even 1 inch. Offenso South. It's so serious. Offenso South, not even 1 inch of my road. Yes. I'm not even talking about the tiring of roads, but the collapsed bridge.
So the member want to know what plan do you have to fix that bridge?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that Offenso South is a municipality. Therefore, this falls under the Department of Urban Roads. It's a feeder road. Yes, I'm told that it's a feeder road project. So, Mr. Chairman, I can assure my colleague that when we leave here, I'll make a follow-up to get our engineers there to see what we can do to remedy the situation.
Yeah, he has taught them how to answer questions. All right, that'll be all for your discharge.
Thanks for assurance. So I'll see you.
Let's have Postal and Courier Service Regulatory Commission. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
Is it afternoon? Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. My name is Alexander Yao Afo, Chief Director, Ministry of Communications and Digitalization, the team lead for today's meeting.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I am Hamdaratu Zakaria, the Executive Secretary for the Postal and Courier Services Regulatory Commission.
I'm Delphina Jemabuodi, Head of Accounts, Postal and Courier Services.
Thank you very much for coming. You have one issue, but the Vice Chairman will look at your financial performance. So paragraph 1732. Vice Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let's look at your financial position over here. I see that your total income increased by 39%. What constitutes your IGF that doubled out here?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We get our IGF from the licenses that we issue to courier operators, and then also the statutory payments that Ghana Post pays to the Commission annually.
Okay. Last year, it was in positive. I mean, you had 386,000 Ghana cedis positive. And then 2022, it was 463. You are in the right direction. Now, if you look at the financial position, you went from 8.7 to 14.3. And that's pretty good right there. Chairman, that's all I will say about the financial position.
All right, thank you. Your last issue, the management issues, paragraph 1741, is about unclaimed allowances missing. 7,098. Has it been found?
Yes, Honorable Chair. The actual amount is not 7,000.
Okay.
It's 4,998 cedis, 30 pesos. The auditors there were some lapses in the calculations. The money has been retrieved from the security company that was supposed to be guarding the premises, which they neglected their posts, and then thieves broke in and made away with that money. So the amount that we were supposed to pay them, we used that to pay the officers in question, and then the sign sheets have been duly signed and they've been presented to the auditors.
Auditors, can you confirm the recomputed figure and has it been recovered?
Honorable Chair, after recomputation, the outstanding balance was retrieved from the security company who was supposed to take charge of the security of the company. Thank you.
All right, so that'll be all for your discharge.
Thank you, Chair.
Let's have GIFEC. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
Honorable Chair, I'm Prince Sifa. I'm the acting administrator of GIFEC. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, I am Eva Andopoku, deputy administrator.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I am Yahya Zakaria Osman, Director of Operations, GIFEC.
Honorable Chair, I'm Henry Admawati, Director of Finance.
Thank you for coming. GIFEC, your 2018 financial report shows that you made a surplus of 10 million. But in 2019, you had rather made a deficit of 2.2 million. Looking at your contribution from operators, it has increased by 12.6%. So your total income increased by 11.6%. But your total expenditure increased by 45%. Notably among that is universal access to electronic telecommunication, UACP, increased by 56%. What is that, and why did the amount increase so much?
Honorable Chair, I was not around at the time, so I'll defer to my Director of Finance, who was there and has more institutional memory. Thank you.
Director of Finance.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Just as you rightly pointed out, apart from personal emolument, that saw increase in number of staff with associated expenditures on allowances. The major cause of the deficit came from universal access program. Honorable Chair, I must put on record, this is the budget line that covers most of our program expenditures, i.e., rural telephony, school connectivity project, and maintenance and operation of our satellite hub. Most of the, just as you said, the surplus in 10 million, compare that to one with our 2019 one, you could see that most of the expenditure that's supposed to have been carried in 2018, most of them did happen in 2019. I want to say that there was massive deployment in respect of equipping CICs and the extended rural telephony system. That explains why this deficit. Honorable Chair, thank you.
All right, your current ratio is not bad. So we'll go to paragraph 1794. Honorable Yusuf will take it.
Chairman, thank you. The infraction is that you engage the services of Disingov to provide some services. The auditors established that their services were poorly provided. And so they also said that as a result of that, you didn't get value for money for contracting them. The first question I want to ask is, what was the sum of the contracts that you awarded to Disingov?
Honorable Chair, the contract with Disingov started around 2015, 2016, and it was very much aligned with our mandate, which is to make
Director, I don't want us to keep long.
Okay.
The question is how, what is it called? What is the contract sum?
The initial contract sum was around 35 million, Henry. Right, so that's where it started. That included some capital expenditure, and then the space segment, which has to do with the bandwidth, and then operations and maintenance that has to be also in place to support the services. Thank you.
So you went through a procurement process to engage them, right? Because the auditors are saying that the poor service provided by Disengov violates the procurement principles of value for money. So what procurement process did you use in selecting them?
Honorable Chair, the procurement process was very normal. It has to do with going through PPA and CTRC, as we call them now. And those were all very much approved at the time. Thank you.
Procurement method, was it single source you used? Was it restrictive tendering, competitive tendering? Simple.
I believe at the time it was a single source. Please.
Exactly. So you use single source. And the auditors are saying that as a result of that, you are not getting value.
Sorry, Honorable Chair, the method that was used in procuring the service was a restrictive tender. It was a number of companies that were invited to bid for that.
Restrictive tendering?
Yes.
Okay, so have you paid Disengov all the monies due them?
So are you withdrawing the earlier answer to the committee?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Answer me.
Yes, Disengov was paid.
Yeah, the auditor is saying that because they didn't provide services for all the areas they are supposed to provide, they shouldn't have been paid. So why did you decide to pay them when they haven't rendered the services satisfactorily?
Mr. Chairman, the issue of Disengov was one that we had a technical disagreement with the auditors. The auditors, as the report shows, had gone to some sites and they had some technical difficulties. But when it comes to the provisioning of services of that nature, sometimes you can go to a particular client site and experience something that doesn't necessarily reflect the overall performance of the service. So this issue had come up to the board, which noted that there was a fundamental issue at the time that the auditors went in terms of the bandwidth that had been procured. The bandwidth that had been procured was provided by Disengov. It's just that it turned out not to be enough. So we have an issue with right sizing of bandwidth, not necessarily Disengov not providing what they were supposed to. Thank you.
In your answer, you are saying that they provided something that was not enough. Isn't that a challenge? You paid for somebody a sum of money to provide a service. At the end of the day, the person did not provide something enough to be able to provide the services as expected. Don't you think that person then deserves to be paid fully?
So what we're saying is that the provider provided the services for which they were paid. It turned out, you see, if you look at the history of this service, you find that it has evolved. Okay, it started out with a number of rural telephones.
Can you confirm that what he's saying is the right thing per your records?
Honorable Chair, I think he has even agreed to our recommendation. He even said that what the provider wasn't enough. So our recommendation still stands. Thank you.
Chairman, their recommendations still stands. So I want to defer to you. The bottom line is that Disengov was contracted to provide a certain services. The auditors have established that that services was not satisfactorily carried out, but they have gone ahead to pay the total sum of money per the contract. And again, the auditors are saying that the kind of procurement process they use didn't give value for money. And I think that that is a very serious matter. I want to defer to you.
I'm reading paragraph 1802, which says all the 25 sites, 25 rural telephony sites have been on air since the beginning of the project and are on Vodafone network. These sites are available for inspection anytime. What is that? Management saying that the 25 sites are operating.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the the satellite hub services are in two parts. There's the rural telephony sites that sit on the hub, and then there are also some internet access points that we have on there.
Okay.
The issues raised had to do with the internet access points.
Okay.
And so what had happened was, as the services evolved and changes were made, the rural telephony sites have dedicated services. So we dedicate bandwidth. That's how they are to be provisioned. And they have been on and continue to work. As we speak, we have 22 sites that are on there, and they are working without an issue. The issue had to do with the rest of the services, which are the internet access points that we have at certain very hard to reach locations that we try to provide services to. And we have to use, for those, we have to resort to satellite services. And for those ones, we've had an issue with bandwidth, which when the service was provisioned initially, it was 30 megahertz. And at some point, due to financial constraints and the cost of the what we call the space segment, the board had decided that we needed to make some changes. And so that included removing certain sites that could get regular services like what you may have on your internet modems, someone called TurboNet, and so on. So we removed some sites from the those that were on the internet access point services initially.
So,
and the 30 megahertz was reduced to 10 megahertz due to budgetary constraints. And it turned out that as all these sites competed for bandwidth, some of them at times would time out, and that's what the auditors found.
But full payment was made to Disengulf?
Yes, full payment was made to Disengulf because Disengulf provided the 10 megahertz as reduced from about 2017, and due to budget constraints. The board is currently looking at what has been come out as that at a minimum we need about 28 megahertz. So we're working on trying to get that. Thank you.
Has Disengulf fulfilled the terms of the contract?
Yes, please. They have.
Signed with them?
Yes.
Do they have fulfilled the terms of the contract?
They have.
So the auditors are recommending that management should ensure that Disengulf provide the services to meet the requirement of the contract, which means that they have not fulfilled the terms of the contract. If you say that they fulfilled the terms of the contract, have you notified the auditors?
We have. We have also met with representatives from the Attorney General's office. We have shown them more information.
When you met the auditors, are they satisfied?
Well, the auditors obviously reported their findings, as you have. And subsequently, we met with reps of the AGs, and we gave them further information, including board review of the same matter. The contract with Disengulf has since expired. We're now in the process of looking for a new arrangement.
No,
and
our concern here
is
that Disengulf have been paid a certain amount of money for them to provide some services. Have they provided the services for which they were paid? If the answer is yes, and that has been certified, then we don't have any problem.
Yes, so Mr. Chairman, Disengulf provided the services for which they were paid. We agree that in terms of the right sizing of the service, what was procured and what was provided turned out not to be adequate, and we're working to increase the bandwidth going forward.
The one provided which is inadequate, was that what you paid for?
Yes.
So, auditor, I'm having challenges here. You claim that the Disengulf should be asked to provide the service to meet the requirement of the contract. They are saying that they have provided the service to meet the terms of the contract. So which is which?
Honorable Chair, during the audit, the contract was not met as it was in the agreement.
Okay.
Subsequently, further documents was provided which we are satisfied with.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Chief Whip.
Yes, I want to understand something. Was this a fixed term, fixed sum? The scope fixed? That the contract sum fixed at the commencement of the contract?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. It was not fixed. Then, if you permit me, I will give you the process. In 2015, when we did a restrictive tender, we wanted to build a satellite hub on our own to use it to provide satellite connectivity to rural sites, to provide rural telephony, and to provide internet services. So at the time, our requirement was that we needed 10 megahertz of satellite capacity to provide connectivity to 10 rural telephony sites and 100 internet points of presence. So Dizengoff did as such. They constructed the satellite hub for us, did all the connectivity for the 100 sites. In 2018, 2019, for the internet services that the Chief Executive talked about, as we rolled on more cyber laboratories, then we increased the connectivity. We added more to what we had. So we had limited satellite capacity on our part, but with more of access points using the same capacity. So that is the challenge that was identified.
So whose fault was that?
So the fault is from GIFIC, not the Dizengoff. And then because of what we identified, we increased the capacity again because the number of sites were 100 sites. We went to 230 schools. And so we realized the capacity wasn't enough. We added 20 more to make it 30 megahertz. Now, with the expansion of rural mobile network also, auditors went to the field and came back again when our team had already identified that we needed to move some of the sites. So with our recommendations from auditors, we shut down 150 of such sites and reduced the number again. So when we reduced the numbers, we also had to reduce the satellite capacity. Now, if you reduce the satellite capacity and it is still a fixed capacity, then you have more traffic on it. So what we have now is the 10 megahertz, part of which we have dedicated to telephony and the rest for internet.
So this is not even a contract now because it's like an ongoing concern. You keep adding things.
But
who does that? Why would you? Then why is it under one contract? Because the price was fixed, and then the scope was fixed. Meanwhile, the management, kept changing the scope, pretending that it's still under the same contract, which is unfair to the person you allege to have engaged.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we have a lot of demands for satellite services because there are quite a few areas that are hard to reach. So anytime we're able to have your normal mobile network connectivity, we rope them in as such. But with these difficult to reach areas, the demands come in and management tries to make those changes. There's something called throttling. And the throttling has to do with basically trying to share the bandwidth between all the connecting sites as much as they can have connectivity, meaningful connectivity. So what we have found is over the years, some of these changes have been made. We agree that we've had issues with right-sizing these things very well. Board has been aware, the board technical subcommittee has fully reviewed this issue, and it has been agreed that we need to look at increasing the bandwidth, and that's what the board and management are working on at the moment in the new contract that we're looking at. Thank you.
Paragraph 1804. Honorable Waka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Several community centers were built to provide information technology and to enhance research. After some years, over 50% of them were turned into recreational centers. So to say, about 50% of them and denying people with the intended services. What have you done about these abandoned community information services centers? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Community ICT Centers Program, which started as Community Information Center Program, is one that dates way back from the inception of GIFEC. At the time, these centers were built to be the digital hubs in the various communities where these kinds of services were very much lacking. Now, the ministry was responsible for building them, and GIFEC was implementing these services, and often when they were built, they were handed over to the assemblies to manage. That's the model that had been in place from President Kufuor's time for some years now. We realized that this was beginning to cause lots of problems because the assemblies when they were given these to move from an assembly control to one that the ministry itself supervises in conjunction with what we call the Sustainability Management Committees, SMCs. So we've been establishing them.
Excuse me, please.
And we work with them to manage these sites directly. Thank you.
Excuse me, I just asked you a simple question. Said that over 50% have been turned into recreational centers. So I asked you, what is the situation now? Because you told that story to the auditors. After many years now, we want to know whether these abandoned areas have been put into use. That's all. Yes or no, please.
I do not have information that 50% of our CICs have been turned into recreational centers. Respectfully.
That is the report. I read in the report of the auditors. That is 50%. More than 50%. So have you rectified it now?
Where is that?
Where exactly? Because we are not aware. No recreational centers.
Okay. Okay.
So you can read from this paragraph.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, what we have, that's why I was surprised, because what we have is that 50%, according to the auditors, of the CICs have been occupied by other government agencies, not turned into recreational centers. Those were a lot more isolated as far as we knew, so that's why I was obviously surprised by that. Thank you.
All right. Excuse me for a choice of words. Are they, when I use them for, say, some offices, electoral commission, and the rest. So now have you put them into the rightful place?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So that's why we're saying that when we handed these CICs over to the assemblies, we found that it tended to lead to repurposing and other decisions of the assemblies. So we've taken steps to move away from handing over the management of the CICs to local, well-organized committees that we call Sustainability Management Committees. It includes the assembly, but it doesn't give sole ownership to the assemblies. And we at GIFEC have taken a more active role in managing these things to make sure that if there is, for instance, a need to give something to another agency, GIFEC is directly involved in it. So that's what we have done. So we're setting up more and more CICs as we go forward. Thank you.
I think my question has not been answered, but is the Vice President aware of this? That the community information centers are not being used for the intended purposes? No, because that is the digitalization.
Mr. Chairman,
Order. If community information centers have been turned into recreational, maybe a funeral ground or whatever. Oh, I don't know. Eh? Well, if somebody is going around touting that he is a master of digitalization, honorable member, don't do that again.
Chairman, I hear.
All right. So don't turn the community information centers to funeral grounds.
We will not. Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
But before I discharge you, we'll have a public interest question. But before the public interest question, how do you monitor the sites, whether they are working well? Do you have equipment to monitor it? How do you monitor it?
Mr. Chairman.
The cell sites.
Yeah, so it depends on the site. So for some which are more directly managed by the mobile network operator, they manage them on a routine basis. For others, which such as the Ghana Rural Telephony and Digital Inclusion, the newer sites that we're building, we have a network operating center, a NOC, that manages those sites for us. Thank you.
I want to know, how do you monitor it to know that they are working?
Mr. Chairman, so we work through our technical partners.
Okay.
GIFEC has always worked with technical partners.
There is one site in my village.
Yes, we are aware.
I've complained severally, and I've decided not to complain again. Sometimes I find it difficult to get the data. After the voice call, it's working, but the data is not that strong. So that is why I asked if you have a system to monitor how they are working. If you don't have, please try to develop a system that you can use to monitor yourself, not using your partners or whatever. Anyway, now Vice Chairman has a public interest question, and it's related to similar thing. Vice Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Now, GIFEC was here 2 years ago. I told them about network problems in my constituency. They gave me the assurance that they have done the mapping. They realize that the network reception is bad in my constituency. I'm talking about Commander Edina Iguafu Abrim. Now, we have Ankafo Mental Hospital and Maximum Prison right there in my constituency. You go half a kilometer away from the prisons and the mental hospital, you don't get any reception. In case of anything happening, you can't call anybody. I was given the assurance 2 years ago. I'm talking about Tikwe Chrome. I'm talking about Semyon. I'm talking about Emisano, right around the prisons. 2 years, nothing has been done. I'm talking about Samana Botar Park, which is a little far away, and then Kwesiedum. Sir, you gave me the assurance 2 years ago. When are we going to make sure that the reception is working?
In fact, this applies to a number of members on the committee. So if you want to give answer, give it to them. Honorable Myong has a similar thing. Honorable Nafamakpo, Honorable everybody. So give the answer to cover all of you, all of them.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we are aware that this project is very important to honorable members. We have been working with the select committee, of course, through our minister and our ministry as the implementing agency for this project. The project had stalled for some time as we went through the debt exchange, which, as we know, was a national exercise. The good news is that in the budget that you passed for us, the 2024 budget, the project was prioritized, and 290 million from the National Treasury has been allocated for this. The first tranche of it is expected by next month. So we are working closely with the ministry to make sure that these come through. We have no doubt, as at now, of the 1,010 sites that have been built, 618 as at this month, as at now, have been activated. That means that quite a few of the sites, about 40%, are not on at the moment, online. So we're working feverishly with the ministry, get the funding going, and then we ourselves are very much motivated to make sure that we activate the remaining sites. 1,006 of the towers are in the warehouse in Tema. So we need to get them on the ground for you to serve your constituents. And again, it's the funding that is going to allow us, working with our partners, to make sure that these are implemented. So from about next month or so, we expect to really move. GIFEC had done what it could with its organic funds to keep the project going. So for example, towards the end of last year, about 294 sites, the GIFEC board itself approved some funding to make sure that those were activated. And for now, about 150 of them have been activated out of the 294. So we're working feverishly to make sure that these are all back online. As for what the Honorable Vice Chair said, yes, a lot of times we find that the most active connectivity that you can get goes up to about 1.5 kilometers. So we'll look at your particular community and to see if we need to add some more sites. Thank you.
All right. If I allow members, you will spend the whole day answering questions. But I only appeal that you consider taking care of the members' constituencies and the rest of the country. Okay? So that next time you will not have a public interest question in that regard. All right, so that will be all for your discharge. Let's have Ghana Digital Center. Take over. So we are doing Ghana Digital. I'm going to do this one now. After that, do Ghana Post. Then you do from Ghana Post. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Kwajoba Ajiman, the MD for Ghana Digital Center.
I'm Asante Akoa, Finance Manager.
I'm Frank Hanson, Head of Commercial.
Hear the name of the bearded man. What did you say your name was?
Bearded man, your name again?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Kwajoba Ajiman.
Oh, okay.
Are you a former member of parliament?
Rightly so. When
Yes.
you were the
I know.
chairman of the finance committee, sir.
Thank you. Now, Ghana Digital Center. You only have one infraction over here. But before that, let's look at your financial statement. In 2020, you had a net profit of 798,000 Ghana cedis. But in 2021, you had a huge loss of 393. What caused that?
Mr. Chairman, the finance director will answer.
Mr. Chairman, in 2021, we had an increase in income due to the rental income. So we had a lot of tenants. That means increase in activities and operations. So it increased our expenses, hence the loss on our financial statements.
You see that on your administrative expense, it went up 43%.
Yes, sir.
Now, when it comes to your financial position, you went from 30 to 0 to 3.6. That's a very huge drop right there. You have anything to say about that one also?
Mr. Chairman, I think that year, COVID counted for that decline in our revenue, because those times the tenants were not working, but we still need to have the place running, so that accounted for some of the losses.
Your next infraction is on paragraph 1724, and it's on overdue rent arrears. And Rankin will take that, please.
You have overdue rents amounting to 524,564 cedis. Various companies. Have you been able to collect the rents now?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we've been able to collect about 315,699.27 pesos.
Auditors, can you confirm whether they have collected that amount?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that 315,699.27 recovered, leaving a balance of 208,864.
Okay. Continue to make efforts to collect. I know that more are adding up, but make sure you don't accumulate the rent. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, Ghana Digital Center. That will be all for you. You are discharged.
Thank you, sir.
The next group to call is Ghana Post. Please introduce yourself to us.
Honorable Chair, my name is Kweku Tebi Amponsa, Deputy Managing Director, Ghana Post Company Limited.
Honorable Chair, my name is Eric Iwa, Finance.
Honorable Chair, my name is Isaac Mama, General Manager, Audit and Compliance.
Honorable Chair, my name is Napoleon Norte, Finance.
Okay, Honorable Roxon will take you on your first infraction.
Chairman, thank you very much. Where is the MD?
Please, Honorable Chair, MD is indisposed. He's not working.
Any medical excuse duty? Very well. The auditors notes that your non-current assets declined from 26.5 million to 24 million in 2021. That's in 2020, it was 26.5. But they noted that in 2021, it declined to 24 million, a decline of about 9.7. Any reasons for that? Let me quickly add the current assets so that you can take both. That also improved from 53.44 million to 57.8 million. That's 8.3%. Any improvement, any basis for this improvement in terms of the current assets and the basis for the decline of the non-current assets from 26 to 24?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'll start with the non-current assets. The main driver is depreciation of the various assets. We actually had planned to procure additional fleet in 2021. We started the process.
Additional what?
Vehicles.
Vehicles.
Okay. Yes. In 2021, we started the process, but
operational vehicles.
Operational vehicles. We started the process in 2021. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish. So the value of the non-current assets were reduced by only the impact of depreciation. On the current assets, between 2020 and 2021, we had improvement in our revenue. And so we had some receivables and also increased in cash from the revenue performance.
What accounted for this revenue improvement?
It's in fact, the 2020 performance was hit by COVID. You remember we had the lockdown in 2020. So our budgeted revenue performance we couldn't achieve because of that. But we didn't have the same situation in 2021 and were able to improve on the performance of the previous year.
Okay. Liabilities also dwindled from 64.2 to 62 million. That's the current liabilities. And non-current dwindled from 8 million to 6.4. Any basis?
So we managed to service our obligations, yes, because we're in improved position in 2021 compared to the previous year.
Okay. I also see that your ratio has also improved marginally, though, from 0.8 to 1 to 0.9 to 1 in 2021. Overall, your net assets has improved from 7.77 million in 2020 to 13.34 million. You have to keep it up. But before I revert to Chairman, we have an outstanding project in Southern. My post office in Chanakwe. I believe that we can complete it this year.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Chairman, that will be all for Ghana Post. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Your next infraction is on paragraph 1768, and it's about unaccounted for expenditure of 133,290. Have you accounted for this expenditure?
Honorable Chair, please, we have, and we invited the Auditor General to have a look at, and they've certified that.
Can the auditors confirm, please?
Honorable Chair, they've accounted for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next infraction is on paragraph 1772, and that is Honorable Apark who take that.
Grateful, Mr. Chairman. The issue against you is unsupported payment vouchers. Cumulatively, the auditors have recorded 39,928 Ghana cedis for some 31 unsupported payment vouchers. Now, the recommendation is that you ensure that the said transactions are properly acquitted by providing the relevant supporting documents, failing which the amount involved should be recovered from the accountant. Have you been able to provide the needed supporting documents to acquit these unsupported payment vouchers?
Respectfully, Honorable Chairman, the supporting documents have been provided.
Auditors, have you seen the supporting documents and are you satisfied with them? Honorable Chair, all the necessary supporting documents have been submitted and we are satisfied with it. Thank you. Very well, Mr. Chairman, but I hope this will not be repeated.
All right, thank you very much. Your next infraction is on paragraph 1778, and it's an abandoned company guest house. What have you done to this guest house?
Respectfully, Honorable Chairman, we've made improvements to the guest house.
What do you mean by you've made improvements?
We've done some renovations.
You don't sound like you can't even convince yourself that you've done renovations.
Honorable Chair,
what kind of renovations are we talking about?
Renovation to the property itself.
Auditors, could you confirm what he's saying, please?
Honorable Chair, they've done some renovation, but still some work needs to be done. Thank you.
Is somebody living in this guest house? Or is it usable?
Respectfully, Honorable Chairman, yes.
Okay, Honorable IY.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I'm looking at paragraph 1784, management's response. You are saying that the renovation is beyond you. Are you standing by that response?
But subsequently, headquarters provided some funds for some works to be done. So there has been some changes to this.
How long is it going to take you to finish renovating this guest house?
Honorable Chair, we have a budget for it this year, and we intend doing additional works to complete.
When would you complete? You say you have funds now. When would you complete this renovation?
We have budgets for this in 2024, and we will complete this by the end of the year.
We'll hold you to it, that by the end of the year we'd have finished renovation of this guest house.
Yes, please.
Because if not, you'll come and meet us again. And that wouldn't be pretty. Okay, Ghana Post, that would be all for you. You are discharged.
Thank you.
The next group to call is GPAC Limited. Please introduce yourself to the committee.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and members. My name is Charlotte Morgan Asiedu, Chief Director of the Ministry of Information. Thank you.
My name is Isaac Kobna Ofui, Internal Auditor, Ministry of Information.
My name is Samuel Essel, Director of Finance and Administration for the Graphic Communication Group, of which GPAC is a subsidiary.
My name is Kingsley Matekole. I'm the Acting General Manager for GPAC.
And I'm Sena Muzusawonu, the Finance Manager for GPAC Limited.
Okay, you have one infraction, but before that, Honorable Apak will go through the financials with you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
In terms of your financial performance, the auditors have indicated a surplus. Actually, you made a surplus in the year under review 2021 of 579,102 Ghana cedis compared to the previous year where it was 154,874. So that is commendable. But in looking at some of the other variables culminating into your financial position, I noticed that both your non-current and your current liabilities both went up in 2021 compared to 2020. And although your net assets also increased, that increase was marginal. Is there a reason why both particularly your current liabilities, increased by 29%?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. 2020 was the COVID year. Typically, we didn't do much. I mean, we had to scale down on all of our operations. As a result, the numbers you are seeing for 2020 is significantly below our normal capacity. Moving into 2021, we had to do more. And now that means that we will grow sales, which would also go with increasing receivables and payables. And typically, one would expect that at least we should leverage off a bit more payables to be able to fund, because that's a relatively cheaper source of funds. That's why you're seeing that movement, say.
Now, the other issue that caught my attention was what the auditors have couched as increase in commercial printing during the year 2021, which they say contributed to the increase in your margin of profit for 2021 compared to 2022. What are some of the things that you print?
Honorable Chair, I would ask the acting GM to answer that, because that's a lot more technical.
Okay, so we are commercial printers. We print packaging materials for some organized firms. We print general commercial materials like books. We are one of the best 3 top printers in Ghana when it comes to textbooks. And then we also do a lot more of labels for some organizations. Thank you.
That's sufficient. Well, your current ratio, which of course defines how solvent you are and whether you are able to take care of your responsibilities, is slightly down compared to 2020, but according to the auditors, you are still in good shape. Mr. Chairman, that will do.
Thank you very much. Your next infraction is on paragraph 2142, and it's uncompetitive procurement, and to the tune of 251,294. But if you look at paragraph 2145, GPAC, is it a state-owned enterprise?
Ultimately, yes, because it's a...
Ultimately, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Management responded that GPAC Limited operates under the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, and does not follow the PPA Act in their purchases, and that their processes were approved by the board, and copies of the board minutes would be made available to the audit team. Are you sure that because of that, you don't follow procurement procedures?
Honorable Chair, there is a fundamental issue that had affected Graphic, especially with regards to the status of the company in line with its operating procedures. I recall that at 2 meetings that we've had here, we've brought that issue to the fore. And it was because at the time we were not so clear. In fact, our understanding then was that as a separate limited liability company, we were operating under the Companies Act, as a result of which at the time we were operating, we were getting all our approvals through competitive, a selective, restrictive tendering, going through the board for approval and everything. However, based on audit reports which showed us that no, we still need to fall under the PPA Act, we had to change and then align. So currently, as we speak now, both Graphic and GPAC have changed their procedures to make sure that we align with the companies, with the Public Procurement Act. But it is because of this particular issue, that is why at the time this particular thing happened, but it's no longer existing.
So you understand that you need to follow the PPA?
Absolutely, sir.
All right. Honorable Rox.
Chairman, let's clarify this matter. You are a subsidiary of Graphic.
Yes, please.
And so a Graphic owns 100% shares.
Yes.
But you are incorporated under the Companies Act.
Yes, sir.
So, Chairman, you see, they fall in the same category as the subsidiary of SNET, the matter that we just handled. Now, you will have to appoint your auditors when they audit your accounts, so that we don't run into these problems in the future. When they audit your accounts, then your accounts...
Honorable Member, now they've realized where the mistake is, and now they are going to work with the auditors on it. Isn't that the case?
Chairman, this is a matter of legal procedure. If I may finish, with all due respect. I'm not... Chairman, with all due respect, so that your accounts will reflect in the mother accounts of Graphic, which will be audited by the Office of the Auditor General, so we don't create confusion.
Honorable Chair, this matter before us, I think they have agreed that Auditor General needs to audit them. And going back, even what Honorable Chair ruled yesterday, UGL appeared, and the rule was that, that was last week, and the rule was that Auditor General need to audit them. So, and they are supposed to comply with the procurement laws. So I think this matter can be put to rest. Thank you.
It's been put to rest. They have realized that Auditor General has to come through with this. So that will be all for you. You are discharged.
So thank you very much, Honorable.
Now let's talk. Let's call this last group over here: Ghana Maritime Authority, Ghana Ports and Harbors and Highways, State Housing Company Limited, and then the Ghana Meteo.
Director, please come closer.
Few issues.
The Bibles and the verses in your right hand, and then repeat after me. I
I, Al-Hassan Tampuli Suleimana, swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give before this committee touching the matter in issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Now, Ghana Maritime Authority, if we can call them. Please introduce yourself to the committee.
Honorable Chair, my name is Hassan Tampuli Suleimana, Deputy Minister for Transport, sitting in for the Honorable Minister. Allow my colleagues to introduce themselves.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Mabel Sego, the Chief Director for Ministry of Transport.
Honorable Chair, my name is Mark William Atipo, Director of Finance, Ministry of Transport.
Honorable Chair, my name is Dr. Kwesi Wareko, Finance Division, Ghana Maritime.
Honorable Chairman, my name is Thomas Alonzi, Director General, Ghana Maritime Authority.
Honorable Chair, my name is Anthony Mba, Deputy Director of Finance, Ghana Maritime Authority.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairman. Captain Inusa Abdel Nasser is the name, Director of the Technical Services Division of the Ghana Maritime Authority.
All right, you have one infraction, and Honorable Isaac Opoku will go through that with you. Before that, he will go through the financial statements also.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, Ghana Maritime Authority, your financial performance was good. You recorded some surpluses, 65 million compared to 95 million in 2020. So that is a decline though. Can you offer any explanation as to why, even though you recorded some surplus, but the surplus has declined from 95 million to 65 million?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As we may all be aware, 2020 was a COVID year. 2020 was a COVID year, and as a result, it affected our operations and hence a decrease in our level of expenses or operational activities. And our activities pick up in 2021, and you could see from the financials that our revenue increased from 2020 to 2021, as well as our expenses. So it's the increase in the cost of the expenditure that has resulted in the reduction in our operational profit. Thank you.
What should we expect in 2022?
In 2022, we expect to get a higher profit, but at the same time, it depends on the operational activities that we undertake. The projects, every year in 2022, we are having a lot of projects in terms of our office buildings, and we expect the cost to be higher.
All right, Chairman, their current ratio is also good, 4.2 to 1, indicating that you are able to meet your short-term financial obligations. So, Chairman, I think in terms of their finances, it's not too bad. Chairman, I move on to the next infraction, if you permit me, and that is states of the Vessel Traffic Management Information System, VTMIS. The authority acquired the Vessel Traffic Management System Vessel Traffic Management Information System, VTMIS, for effective electronic surveillance of Ghana's territorial waters and to enhance maritime security and safeguard the country's economic interests. Chairman, when the auditors visited 4 out of 8 VTMIS stations of the authority at Hafasini, Azim, Takrade, and Tema, the observation was that the stations were not functioning at full capacity. And they've given the report as captured in tables 272. Azim Station, for example, was without electricity for over 2 years and has no functioning backup generator. And the effect is that it does not receive nor transmit any signal. Hafasini VTMS satellite station also had no power supply from the national grid, and there was no functioning backup generator either. Hafasini, Azim, Takrade, and Tema, maritime cameras and radars installed in all 4 stations do not work. Yes, what is first of all, let me find out, do you outsource your maintenance work? Chairman, I'm asking that because if you look at paragraph 2012, management response, they said maintenance agreements is in place. So I want to find out whether you do outsource the maintenance work of the authority.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The said VTMIS was installed somewhere in 2012.
No, the first question is that do you outsource the maintenance work?
No, the installation comes with maintenance. So the organization responsible for installing it are the ones who are supposed to do the maintenance.
So if you say the authority has a maintenance agreement in place, what exactly do you mean?
It's out. Yes, it is outsourced. That's it. That's what it means. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So who is responsible for the maintenance? Can you inform the committee?
Yes, so at the moment, the current the current company responsible is called ICTech. Act ICT, yes.
ICT?
Yes, sir.
Hey. All right, so what is the status? The auditors were able to visit 4. The remaining 4 that they were not able to visit, what is the state of those stations?
On the whole, the equipment itself is almost obsolete. So what is happening is that to enable us discharge our mandate, we have contracted or we have subscribed to a vessel tracking system that enables us to see whatever is happening within our territorial waters. Beyond that, we've entered into a contract to refurbish the existing equipment. That contract has been signed, and Vlaticom of Serbia very soon will be coming in to work on the refurbishment of the VTMIS to make it up to date.
So when was the VTMIS, when was it procured?
The existing one was installed in...
No, not the existing one, the one that we are talking about. We
started the processes somewhere last year, and we just returned from Serbia we went to do a factory acceptance test, and very soon they'll be coming in to start with the work.
You are not answering my question. I was asking about the states of the stations, and you said the equipments are obsolete.
Almost.
Yes. So I'm asking, the infraction we are discussing now, the VTMIS, when were they procured?
No, I said 2012. The existing one was installed in 2012.
2012?
12, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So now they are obsolete and you are no longer
relying on them?
They're not performing as we expect them to perform. We're not getting optimal performance from them. That's why we have gone into the process to procure a new one. Yes.
Chairman, I think I will yield this one to you. They are saying the current equipments are all obsolete. So yes, it means you didn't benefit from, the equipment you procured.
No, that cannot be the case. It served its purpose up to a point from 2012, and then we started realizing that
they were having problems.
We're having problems with it. Yes.
Sir, how would you know this machine is working or not when you haven't repaired it for over 2 years? You haven't repaired it for over 2 years, and you are telling us it's obsolete.
At this point, I think I'll let my technical director come in.
Don't switch it to somebody else.
No. Let him take over. Let my technical director come in.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's not that we haven't repaired. Like he said, the maintenance has been outsourced. And the auditors came in 2021 to do the auditing. And 2022, sorry. So we had this Act ICT who tried to do what we can to bring it up to full capacity. But some of them were beyond repairs.
You see, my issue is this. You have outsourced the maintenance. But for 2 years, these machines haven't worked. And you never followed up to make sure whether the outsourced agency was doing the job or not. This is what the auditors are reporting. Air conditioning is not working in a power supply from the national grid is erratic and not functioning, no functioning backup generator. Then you come and sit here and tell us you have outsourced the maintenance. Did you ensure that that person that you are paying money to was doing the job? Did you? And if you did, you would have known that this place hasn't worked for 2 years.
Mr. Chairman, we did. And if a particular station is not having power, the stations are specifically located so that they can overlap. We have 8 stations along the coast of Ghana. So they're talking about Axim and Hafasini. The one in Takoradi is in full capacity. And we have what we call the AIS. That can overlap what the Axim and Hafasini should have been doing. So it's not all that down there. So we keep, the system running by this overlap process of the AIS. As the Director General mentioned, we have added, the vessel tracker system, which for now is working even though the sensors at Axim, where it was mentioned, is not functional.
Sir, let me read you the report. When you go to page 453, and there's a table out there, let me read to you about Tema and Takoradi. The original large monitors, viewing screens installed have been out of order for some time. You think it's just Axim that we are talking about? We are talking about Tema and Takoradi also. The screens have been out of order for some time. So you have a problem with a maintenance culture.
Mr. Chairman, I think since 2012, when this system was installed and commissioned in 2014, if there was no maintenance culture, it will not get up to 2021 or 2023. We have been doing what we can do, but what the Director General said is that they have a lifespan, which we try to, upgrade by giving this up, as he mentioned. But for the rest of the system, like I mentioned, We have Vessel Tracker, which we have subscribed to. Then we also have recently the Yaoundé Code of Conduct. We have the Yaris, which is also working now. And also we have procured some boats by the Ghana Maritime Authority, such that the stations that are not functioning properly, these physical patrols of those areas are, obliged, we carry out these ones. But like we said, it's obsolete now. And like the recommendations of the auditors, as confirmed by our internal audited reports, there should be an upgrade of the system. That is what we are doing.
So have you upgraded the system?
That is what the Director General has just said, that it's a Serbian company. The procurement processes have been taken through PPA. It has been signed, and recently they went for the factory acceptance test.
Auditors, could you confirm what he's saying, please?
Mr. Chairman, the Ghana Maritime Authority obtained an approval from PPA to have a contract signed with the Vlatcom Institute for the installation of maritime surveillance system. And I think they are still in the process of doing the procurement. Thank you.
All right, that'll be all for you, Ghana Maritime Authority. You are discharged. Now we need Ghana Ports and Harbors
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Authority. Ghana Ports and Harbor, are you here?
Chairman, you are here. Please.
Okay. Could you introduce yourself to the committee, please?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Michael Luguji, Director General, GPHA.
Honorable Chair, my name is Tebon Zuma, the General Manager Finance.
Honorable Chair, I am Nana Kwame Adodankwa, the Finance Manager.
Honorable Chair, I'm Stephen Amoa, Internal Auditor.
All right, thank you very much. Ghana Ports and Harbor, your infraction is on paragraph 2013. No, it's your financial statement, and Honorable Apak will take that one, please.
Grateful Chairman, and let me welcome the Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority, and to acknowledge my cousin, my first cousin. The figures are hard figures. There is nothing my relationship with him would do to alter them. But since our parents are watching, it's important that I acknowledge him. Great. Chairman, the finances. I am not conflicted. Chairman, I don't know why the incoming Deputy Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture is so passionate. Perhaps he wants to get close to the sea. Very well.
Go ahead.
Thank
please.
you. Yes, sea matters. Chairman, the financial performance of GPHA for the year under review 2021 has been encouraging. Overall, the income that they had for 2021 was 47% more than the previous year. But what has caught my attention is a concomitant increase in operational expense, where it has been reported that operational expenses have also gone up by 26%. Financial cost also has gone up by 50%. Can you help us understand why these two seem to be in the opposite direction of what we would want?
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable. I think the first has to do with the operational cost increase. Immediately after 2020, after COVID, we generally had some increases in operational expenses. So we have virtually all our handling charges going up. We evacuate containers from MPS, and so we had those charges also going up as well. We had our dock labor charges going up, electricity going up. So generally, those accounted for the increases in the operational expenses.
In the operational cost?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So how does that differ from finance cost?
The finance cost basically is the interest we pay on our loans. We have loans denominated in USD and Euro. So normally once you convert even into the CD, it gives you a huge kind of balances. And that is why we see those increases. But generally, as compared to the revenue generated, we are within the thresholds.
Very well. Chairman, the profit, according to the auditors, had risen astronomically. Auditors are quoting 2,791.5%. Quite impressive, I must say.
Thank you.
Now, to finish it off, no, truth stands. Truth is truth. Truth stands. Yes. Very well, Chairman. Very quickly, we are looking at the financial position, and overall, the financial position, according to the auditors, is also good, indicating that the authority would be capable of meeting its short-term financial obligations, even though there is a dip from the previous year. I'll leave it there. Oh, Rankin.
Thank you very much.
Why are you interfering?
The next infraction is on paragraph 2023, and Honorable Ernest will take care of that.
So the infraction is long outstanding receivables. The auditors noted that GPHA had a long outstanding receivable totaling 2,167,000 Ghana cedis and $1,258 as at the end of 2021. They again note that this receivable has been in the books since 2009. These raises a number of questions, and they feel that this can lead to loss of receivable. This receivable might not come in. Management provided some responses to the three different receivables from Government Financial Rationalization, Ghana Railway Development Authority, Fish Landing, then the US dollar from Concordia. I would like management to provide us updates on what they had given the auditors as at the last audit, because the last audit per what we have here is as at 2021. So I would like management to provide us update as at today on one, Government Financial Rationalization, the Fish Landing sites, Ghana Railway Development, and the vessel RHL Concordia. Please provide us updates on what, because over here there are some explanation. There was some that you mentioned you are going to provide, you are going to send out demand notices. So please provide us all the updates as of today.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. So on the Ghana Railway Authority's amount of 100,000, we have actually sent the demand notice, and we are yet to receive payment of that. We have furnished the Auditor General with that information. Also, on the Government Financial Rationalization...
Chairman, I want to come in here. Auditors, can you confirm if Ghana Railway is 1 million or 100,000? Because we have two different numbers here. From management's position is 1 million, But from the auditors is 100,000. Can you confirm how much it is?
No, it's 100,000. No, I started explaining from.
Honorable Ernest, go ahead.
Tama, we have a stranger who is disrupting proceedings.
To confirm whether it's 1 million Ghana cedis or 100,000 Ghana cedis.
Mr. Chairman, it's 100,000 cedis per the table 275.
Table 276 quotes 1 million.
Mr. Chairman, I think that one is an error. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. So management, can you go over and provide us those updates?
So thank you, Honorable. So on the matter of government financial rationalization and then the fish landing site, we have sent a request to the Ministry of Finance through our sector ministry for a possible write-off of those receivables because they relate to government transactions. The last one has to do with the MV Concordia. On the Concordia matter, we ended up in court, and the court order for settlements awarded us $500,000. The rest are court charges. So we were able to retrieve this amount out of the total amount of 1.2 and in full settlement of the debt. We have also provided information to the Auditor General on this matter.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Mr. Chairman, in respect of the Concordia, the settlement amount was $499,975 and that has been paid. The others, they've sent letters to the Ministry of Finance. The letter dated 24th of March 2023 was also sent to the Ghana Railway Development Authority. Thank you.
Management, on the issue of Concordia, has this been taken care of in the accounts for 2022?
Yes, Honorable.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, we are done. But we have a special public interest question from Honorable from the Kita constituency.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to ask from the Ghana Port and Harbour Authority about any brief concerning Keta Port.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Having done the market sounding, we are currently doing the environmental impact assessment, and that takes a bit of time just to take care of, all the necessary requirements asked by Environmental Protection Agency standards.
Look, I've heard about Qatar Port for several years. When is it going to take you for you to put, a pickaxe to the ground and start building? How long does it take for an environmental study?
Mr. Chairman, that will be answered better by the EPA, but because they have to work within their law, their guidelines, and their framework. And we don't need to second guess when they will be able to do that.
How much have we spent so far on this Qatar Port?
Mr. Chairman, it will be difficult to say it right now. So if you can, we can defer so that at the right time we can get the necessary information for you, the committee.
Okay, Honorable Carlos Ahenkra.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Minister, Happy New Year.
Many happy returns.
Thank you very much. This is a public interest question. And of course, I'm happy that my Director General is seated right beside you. I just want to know, and by my relationship or association with the port many, many years back, 40 years back, I just want to find out. Time passed, Gapua had a foreign account with the Ghana Commercial Bank in London. All vessels operating in our ports had to pay their money to this bank account instead of bringing it to Ghana. We have made several recommendations for them to rescind or desist from that kind of action and bring their monies directly here for the Bank of Ghana to be able to capture and use for our own purpose. I want to find out, are we still maintaining that account or we'll bring it here in Ghana? That's my first question, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, the Director General of Finance would answer.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Ghana Ports will still maintain our offshore accounts with the Ghana International Bank in London. Now, Ghana International Bank is also a Ghana bank, fully owned by Ghana. But to consider the concerns of freight forwarders and other stakeholders, we have also opened accounts, offshore accounts within Ghana, with EcoBank in particular, where we receive offshore as well. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is where I have a problem, a challenge. Those times when we didn't have the opportunity, the privilege to have these foreign accounts open here in Ghana. If you tell me you had to open an account with a Ghana Commercial Bank in UK, it was understandable. Today, look at the way we are suffering, looking for forex to, as it were, pushing us or ease the pressure of our forex. And we are keeping this account out there and allowing ship owners, I don't know, to, as it were, pay their money into the accounts. Monies that are required to husband vessels in our country here are paid in London. Mr. Chairman, I just want to find out again. Is it the case that some of these shipping agents, on behalf of their principals, pay cedis for some of the services that we render them in the port? If that were the case, I have a follow-up question.
So, thank you, Honorable Chair. It's not the case that shipping lines will
Order, so that we can hear the answers.
Thank you very much. It's not the case that shipping lines will pay cedis for port services. Indeed, all the port services from vessel handling to stevedoring are all to the account of the ship. And that's precisely why we even invoice in USD, because the ship is a foreigner. And so they continue to pay us in USD.
Mr. Chairman, do they convert this money into cedis and receive them at a point? Any part of this money? Is it the case that yes, you invoice in dollar, but they are obliged at a point to convert into your exchange rate and pay in cedis here? I'm saying this for a reason. I'll come out with a reason.
No, for as far as the shipping lines are concerned, we do not have that arrangement.
Okay, so that be the case, Mr. Chairman. Vessel handling and ship husbanding happens to be one of the major cash cows for a lot of developing countries. People talk about Singapore and co. This is what they live on as far as the country is concerned. Even in South Africa, 15 clear days before the arrival of the vessel inside the port, monies required to husband the vessel in the port must be deposited in the central bank. Otherwise, the vessel is not worked upon. Here in Ghana, if what my director is saying is true, how are we able to, as it were, audit this? This goes to auditors, yes, heated. That do they have any information with regards to the monies that ship owners pay before vessels are handled in our ports? How are they able to trace these monies that are paid in the UK commercial bank in the name of GPHA for them to actually reconcile and ensure that this is done? I'm saying this because, and I don't know if my minister is aware, in the port today, the minister and his director general and all the Gapoa people, they invest large sums of money to, as it were, acquire equipment, camera, crane, top lifters, and so on and so forth. Mr. Chairman, when they handle or when they release your container to you, they have a charge about, let's say, I don't know, but how much do you charge handling charges per 20-footer and 40-footer? Mr. Chairman, it will interest you to note that those who call themselves shipping agents, not shipping lines, the shipping agent, charge up to 4 times what they are using machines to charge by sitting down to just sign a release. And they are using these monies, instead of bringing the forex in, they are using these monies to pay for services here, which is supposed to attract dollars. And I don't know what my minister is going to do about this, because it is very painful that the director general sitting beside you will go and borrow money and bring 30 top lifters, 40 heisters, and so on and so forth, for them to come and deliver containers to consignees and take, let's say, 100 Ghana cedis.
Honorable member.
I'm just landing. Then, when you go to a shipping agent to release your container, he says, pay me 400 Ghana cedis by just sitting behind his table, not employing or not using any equipment before I release the cargo to you. Meanwhile, the charges that they are supposed to get, or whatever they are supposed to get in terms of remuneration, has been charged in the freight already by the principal. So what is the port authority, or what is the minister doing about this? Let me call it, I don't want to use the word to sound too negative, but what are you doing about this negativity about what is going on in the port?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman, I think the challenges that the Honorable Carlos Ahenkra mentioned are matters that are already before the ministry. Indeed, about 2 or so weeks ago, we were invited to a meeting at the economic management team, of which I led the ministry.
Are you the chairman of that economic management team?
Is the next president who is the next president of the republic. Alhaji Dr.
Who is the next president?
Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
I see. I thought the one said that his advices are ignored.
Mr. Chairman, so the issues that the Honorable Carlos Ahenkra, has laid out were issues that were also laid out by the freight forwarders, GUTA, different agencies came, Transport Forum, and they had the same concern. So a committee has been set up to look into these matters, and one of the key issues that came out was this container charge of about average 5,000 Ghana cedis. Last year we did 1.2 million containers, and that takes it to about 6 billion Ghana cedis. If you convert it to today's exchange, that's about $550 million.
Honorable Minister.
So we are dealing with the matter, Mr. Chairman. And I think that the concerns that he raised are issues that are already being handled at the highest level of the government. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Okay, Honorable Roxon.
Chairman, thank you. Chairman, I haven't asked any question. The question I want to ask is in respect of the situation of the Qatar seaport. Yes, so this is a supplementary. Honorable Minister, the issue of the Qatar seaport is of emotional importance to our people. And for the past 4 years, we've been told that there's a certain director for the Qatar seaport. If you go to the site, it is symbolized by a metallic sandboard with 2 containers. And we continue to be told before this committee that something is being done. How long does it take for a feasibility studies? If the project won't take off, why appoint a whole director in charge of such a project?
Mr. Chairman,
the same question was
Mr. Chairman,
asked by.
I think that this question has been asked and then
yes, the question has been asked and answered, and you are taking us back.
I'm not taking you back, Chairman. With all due respect, it's a follow-up. I am saying that the matter of the Keta seaport is whimsically treated. Anytime we ask questions, we just ask how much has been spent. For the past 4 years, we are told that it's not known. But there is a substantive director occupying office taking salary for an empty space. It's not about filing a question. This is the place.
Roxanne, this is not the place. This is not the place. Don't do these kind of things in this committee. Because you see, no, wait a minute.
Chairman, with all due respect.
I'm the ranking.
With all due respect.
I'm the ranking.
Chairman,
I'm talking.
Allow
me also to talk.
With all due respect.
What do you respect?
You allow Honorable Kalosa
Look, Carlos, I'm saying that. No. But the point I'm making is that this question has been asked by a member, a friend, and it has been answered. And then,
Roxanne.
What am I doing is not right. What you are doing is rather not right. The fact that there's a director.
Roxanne.
And so what's wrong?
You allow the non-member to ask a question.
Roxanne. Okay, Gapoa, that's all for you. You are discharged. Now let's call State Housing Company Limited. Do we have order? Do we have a state housing over here, please? Okay, if state housing is not here, let's call Ghana Metro. Ghana Metro, please introduce yourself, please.
Honorable Chair, my name is Eric Suman, the Acting Director General, Ghana Meteorological Agency.
Speak through the microphone, please.
Sorry. I'm Dinah Hajara Yakubu, Head of Accounts, Finance.
Honorable Chair, I'm Popular Charles Milley from the HR Department.
Hello, my name is Komla Jogbeta, Ghana Meteorological Agency, Accounts Office.
All right, Ghana Meteo, you have two infractions. One is indebtedness to Ghana Meteorological Agency. We are talking about $10 million, US dollars. What has happened to this amount?
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. Honorable Chair, Ghana Meteorological Agency in Ghana by our art, provide aeronautical meteorological services to Ghana Civil Aviation and Ghana Airport Company, and by Chicago Convention between World Meteorological Organization and ICAO, services, meteorological and aeronautical services provided by Met institutions are to be, paid for by the aviation industry. So in Ghana, Ghana Meteorological Agency provide meteorological and aeronautical services, and we were depending on MOU, that's Memorandum of Understanding between GMET.
Sir, let me ask the question again. There's an indebtedness of $10 million US. What has happened to that amount?
Thank you, Chair. I was trying to give a background to it, but that's okay. I'll go straight to the question. 2019, Ghana Meteorological Agency Act was amended, and specific receivables were to be given to Ghana Meteorological Agency. Since then, Ghana Civil Aviation and Ghana Airport Company have not been honoring their obligation as stated in the GMET amended Act. And that is what has cumulated to this amount. A lot of effort has been made in trying to collect this amount. A lot of notice of demand of the monies that should be paid to Ghana Meteorological Agency as stated in the amended Act has been refused.
Sir, please, with all due respect, let me ask the question again. Out of this $10 million US, how much of it have you collected?
Sir, they have not paid the arrears, but Ghana Airport Company has started paying for the future receivables since this audit observation was raised. But Ghana Civil Aviation has still not honored their obligation, so it has not been paid, sir. Chairman.
Have you demanded for this amount of money?
Chairman, we have made frantic efforts.
What proof do you have? Was it verbal or in writing?
Sir, we wrote to them.
When?
Since the Act was amended 2019. And we went up to the Ministry of Finance to assist us when they were not honoring.
Sir, this audit was done. What year was this audit done, please? Auditors.
Honorable Chair, this audit was done in 2023.
So, sir, this audit was done in 2023, and Ghana Civil Aviation owed you $10 million US. And you say you wrote a letter in 2019.
Sir,
when did you write that letter for demanding the payment of this amount?
So, sir, in 22nd May 2023.
Have you done any follow-up on it?
Severally, to the extent that, sir, we've gone to International Air Transport Association, IATA, to help us collect these monies. Fortunately, IATA demanded from Airport Company and Civil Aviation to give a letter of authorization to enable them split Ghana Meteorological Agency money from source per our amended Act for Ghana Meteorological Agency. Ghana Airport Company has complied. They've given authorization to IATA, and IATA have done the splitting for Ghana Meteorological Agency from Ghana's Airport Company's angle, but still, Ghana Civil Aviation have not given this authorization letter to IATA to enable us get our money from source. And all efforts to get Ghana Airport Company, Ghana Civil Aviation specifically, to honor our request to even first reconcile, and secondly, have probably even a payment plan, has proved futile, to the extent that our board even wrote to their board, and there was no response.
So the simple answer, you haven't collected even a penny on it. Okay. Let's move on to the unserved bond. We noted that 2 officers of the agency defaulted in serving the required bond period after completing their sponsored programs of study. The amount is $194,962. Have you collected this amount?
Sir, collected, no, with explanation. When they left, we drew their attention that they were under bond, and therefore they should pay for the bond. They wrote back to us, telling us that we will hear from them. Later, they wrote to us that they are still serving the same government, and therefore they think there hasn't been any occasion of loss. We brought this to the attention of the auditors because they were raising legal issue. The auditors promised that they will bring this to the attention of their legal department and revert back to us. We've not heard from them, but recently we recruited a legal officer, and we've given the matter to the legal officer because they claim that they are still working with Ghana in an university, and therefore they've not occasioned any loss for them to pay.
The conditions of the bond was for them to go and study and come and work for you for a period. Isn't that what the bond said?
Exactly so, Mr. Chairman.
So if they are not doing that, when did you get a legal counsel to help you?
We recruited legal counsel last year, late last year. And so we referred the matter to him. In fact, at some point, we were hoping that we would get clearance from the auditors when we brought to their attention that they are of the case that no loss has been occasioned because they are still serving.
Late last year, what time?
The time we recruited a lawyer.
Yes.
Say it was in December.
Sir, what I can tell from this audit is you are not serious about collecting the money. Because if you look at the case of Naomi Kumi, that was, the study leave was from March 2016 to September 2019. In the name of Frederick Otulabi, it was from October 2017 to October 2021. And you waited till just latter part of last year.
Mr. Chairman, for getting a legal a lawyer to help us from our organization, depending on the clearance. So when we got a clearance, we got a...
Sir, you are not serious about collecting the money. And if you don't collect this money, you'll be paying out of your own pocket. It's just that simple. You don't seem to be serious about collecting the $10 million US, and you don't care about this one. Auditors, have you found any change in this audit, please?
Honorable Chair, there's no change.
Are these 2 people in town?
Yes, I said they are teaching in one of the universities.
They are teaching at one of the universities. And you haven't made the effort to collect this money?
So we've made a lot of effort. We've even written to their grantors. Just that my challenge had to do with the position that they took. They even made their lawyer to write to us that for them, they are serving the same government. We drew their attention to the fact that the bond says after you complete, you serve the organization. So the organization that gave you the study leave is Ghana Meteorological Agency, not University of Renewable and Natural Resources. But because we have this stalemate, in fact, we brought their response to the attention of the auditors help
Get
us.
an attorney to help you. Do you have an in-house counsel?
That's the one that I said I recruited just late last year. And we
Then
referred the
follow
matter
up
to
with
him.
them and make sure you collect this amount of money. If not, wherever they are teaching, they should be paid. They should have paid for them to go for the study leave. Make sure I give you 1 month. Try and give us evidence of you trying to collect this amount of money.
Thank you, Chair.
And then you give that evidence to the auditors.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Yusuf.
Chairman, no decision was taken on this issue of the indebtedness to Ghana Meteorological Agency. The auditors are saying that they should make effort to retrieve this money, to recover this money. They have made some effort by writing to an organization that is supposed to split their money and give it to them. But they needed an authorization from these two institutions. One has given the authorization, the other one has refused to give. And that is why they are unable to retrieve this money. I just want to appeal to this committee. Is there a way we can support them, talk to Ghana Civil Aviation, to give them the letter so that they're able to recover this money? Chairman, that is my concern. Then the final one has to do with a public interest question. You share your data with some organizations for planning purposes, your data with respect to rain pattern. Is that the case?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Now, did you share your data with VRA on a timely basis?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So if that had happened, do you think we would have experienced this kind of flooding that we experienced in Volta region?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We share data. In fact, we have memorandum of understanding with Volta River Authority, which we have our deliverables under that MOU, and we deliver on it. We told VRA about above normal rainfall in the northern part of Ghana last year, specifically northeast of Ghana, where the white Volta take its source from. And every 10 days, we give rainfall data to VRA. Every week, we give rainfall data to VRA. So, say we do. Thank you.
So from your explanation, you can't take any blame for what we saw in that part of this country, and that the blame is from other organizations for not doing their work. Is that what you are telling this committee?
Say, from Ghana Meteorological Agency point of view, we provided all the information that they needed to be able to take their decision. Thank you.
Chairman, thank you. We now know where the problem is coming from. The data was provided on timely basis, but some organizations went to sleep. And that's why we encountered what we encountered there. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you very much. Once there is record showing that they provided the information to the appropriate agency, we cannot blame them. If we go deep into the matter, there are a lot that will be revealed about what happened for the spillage of the dam. But I wasn't here when you were interrogated. But I can only add to what have been said already, that you have to do more to recover the money from Ghana Civil Aviation and then the Ghana Airport Company. On the issue of the unserved bond, I think we encountered a similar situation before, where the people who were sponsored came back and left the organization that sponsored them, but they went to another organization which also belonged to government. And our ruling at that time was that since you were still serving government, we assume that whatever knowledge they acquire is being benefited by government. But if they were to be serving a private entity, and for that one, we require that they refund the money. So this one, that position will apply in this regard as well. once there's evidence that they left the Ghana Meteorological Agency, but now with another agency. Which agency are they now?
Mr. Chairman, it's University of Natural Resources.
Oh, it's the same UNEL. So they are noted for poaching people who have been trained, because the earlier one I'm talking about also involved UNEL, where the Sunyani Technical University trained the people and they poached them to UNEL, and the same thing happening here. Well, so that's the end. Let's end it there.
I don't know whether you didn't get it.
Which one?
They wrote a letter to Ayata to help them retrieve this money. And Ayata is saying...
The 10 million?
Yes. And Ayata is saying that we will need authorization letters from Civil Aviation and
Ghana Airport Company.
Ghana Airport Company. Now, Ghana Airport Company has given them the authorization letter. Civil Aviation hasn't given them. And that is why it's difficult for them to be able to get the money. So is there a way we can...
Why is the Civil Aviation refusing to give you the letter?
Sir, Mr. Chairman, I think they are just flattening the law that this House has given to Ghana.
Well, you are under Ministry of Communication, and they are under Ministry of Transport. I think that we'll have to engage the minister. I'll call the minister to instruct the Ghana Civil Aviation to write a letter to the board so that they give you the letter for it to claim the money. I'll talk to the minister.
Most grateful, Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you.
Most grateful.
On that note, you are discharged.
Chairman, thank you.
All right, colleagues, that brings us to the end of the public hearing for today. We will continue tomorrow, probably end it tomorrow. And we are expecting some agencies to come before the committee. On that note, the committee sitting is adjourned to tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the forenoon.
Sincere apologies for the rough start. We promised to bring you that story in the course of the bulletin. Back home in the capital, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has outdoored a new system said to revolutionize the transport system in Ghana, dubbed Tap and Go system, starting with the Metro Mass Transit intercity services. Dr. Bawumia said the Tap and Go system will soon be in use in all public transport, including church